Good morning. My name is Jacob Fielder, and today I'm going to be talking about a trip me and my family took this past summer to Africa that really changed not only my life, but my whole family's lives. First, I'm going to tell you all some statistics about the country of Zambia, which is where we went, so that you can get a better picture of what I'm talking about. So Zambia is about the size of Texas in land. The life expectancy for Zambia is only 52 years old because they have such a high HIV and AIDS rate in that country, and they lack the medical care to knock it out. 46% of the population of Zambia is 14 years or younger. So what that means is basically half of the population is children. That chart right there shows that it's a population chart, so the bottom is the kids and the top is the adults, and it's very curved toward the bottom, so you can see that there are a lot of kids running around with not a lot of parents to take care of them. Zambia has the most orphans in the world of any country, and like I said, the reasons for that is the parents have either died of HIV or AIDS, or they have too many kids with not enough financial support to take care of them, so they just drop kids off on the street and just tell them to fend for themselves. And out of every 4 homes in Zambia has a child as the primary caregiver. So 1 out of every homes has a 14 or younger person supporting their family financially and protecting their family as well. So when I first heard that we were going on this mission, I was excited, but I was, nervous because I was not excited for the 17-hour plane ride, but I was also nervous about spending 10 days in a different country because I don't like to travel very much. I'm a homebody person and I like to stay at home. But I was very nervous leading up to it, but I really, really am glad that I decided to go on this trip. We went with Family Legacy, which is an international mission company, and they're centered around the orphan child of Zambia as well. So those are some of my boys right there just goofing around, having fun. Like I said, I went with my family, and we took the 17-hour plane ride, and we arrived in Africa, and when we met our boys, it was probably one of the most exciting times of my life. They run up to you just smiling, dogpiling you, telling you how much they love you when you've never met them before. They're just so happy to be there because the fact that you're there at the camp meant that they got a chance to go to camp. Us signing up gave them the ticket to get to go to camp. And just the looks on their faces were just priceless. The happiest you can imagine. During the week, we had basically a daily schedule, like a camp schedule. My job was basically just to hang out with these kids and have a blast. As you can see in these pictures, we're just having fun. The kids played soccer like crazy, you can't even imagine how good these kids are at soccer. They were making people that came from the United States who supposedly were really good, 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds were just making them look silly on the soccer field. And so we started off, we'd play soccer, play on the playground. Then we'd go in the big group and we would sing songs and dance, and they would hear a lesson that they would learn every day. And these kids were just so eager to learn and soak up what we were telling them. And it was just really humbling. On Thursday was the most special and eye-opening day of the entire trip. We took the kids out into their communities where they were from, and they got a chance to evangelize to whoever they live with. Maybe it's a parent or an aunt and uncle, or if it's just their friends, they got a chance to evangelize to them and teach them everything that we've learned. And it was just really, really cool because these kids knew nothing when we first met them on Monday, and now they know enough to tell their neighbors and friends. And just seeing the poverty that these people live in doesn't match to anything in the U.S. Their floors are dirt and their walls are tarps, pretty much. It was very humbling to see. It was a pretty emotional day for everybody. And then on Friday was our last time to see the boys, and that was definitely the most special day of the week, in my opinion, because growing to love these boys in just 1 week, it felt like you'd known them your whole life. They were just always so happy, even when they had nothing. They were just always energy, just jumping around. And on Friday, we got to give each kid a blanket, which if any of y'all got a blanket, you would just be like, thanks, return, regift. But these kids, you would have thought they got a new car or a new Xbox. They went nuts when they got these blankets. And you can see them in the picture holding their blankets, and they were just overjoyed just to be getting a blanket so that they wouldn't be freezing at night. This trip made an impact on my life, probably more than anything else I've ever done in my life. The kids, you ask the kids, say, what's one thing that you could have, if you could have anything in the world, and they all want to go to school. Because not everyone can go to school because the public school system is so corrupt and you have to pay money to go there, and so a lot of the kids can't go. We'd pull each kid aside and talk to them about their situation, about their family life, and the stories that these kids have gone through and that they would talk about were just made your stomach turn. They were so sad. But you ask them what they want to be, and they all said either doctor, lawyer, or a soldier. I even had one kid say he wanted to be the president of Zambia. And that's why they wanted to go to school so bad, because they realized that without an education, that none of that is possible. Also, the place that we stayed at, they have a school on site that if you sponsor a kid, they get to go to school there. And so this right here is a kid named Sully that my family sponsors. And so he now, instead of living on the streets of Africa, just fending for himself, he gets to live in a house there, and he gets to go to school, and he gets a chance for an education to make something of his life. So that's why this is such a big deal to me, and that's the impact that it's made on my life. Thank you.